Transformerland.com.
Awesome,
www.transformerland.com.
It's an awesome website too. I found it
It
because
really is.
my son was up here and he wanted me to transform his Ultra Magnus from the animated series, and I can't do those things that easily anymore. So I googled the instructions and I found it through your website. You guys had the scanned instructions, and I found you guys.
Yeah, we've been working on getting in instruction scans and the like the bio story card scans
Nice.
for a while now, because there's a lot of those that people can't find, and Hasbro doesn't have them. So we have the resources to get thousands and thousands of these things scanned in.
Oh wow.
That's cool. Yeah, I was gonna say too. It seems like the newer ones you need the instructions for, where the older ones were so simple and. Yeah, you just, you could figure them out. The new ones are so difficult, dude.
They've kind of bounced back. After the first couple rounds of movie toys, they got to the point where they were so complex that there was a little bit of backlash. And so now they're moving back towards the simpler toys. They have the one-step and three-step changers are on shelves today.
Yeah, I kind of prefer them.
It's just like fold their legs down and flip the head back, and it's like, oh, I'm transformed.
Even the rescue bots, the real kitty ones, they're just like you push one thing and they transform. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, sometimes you get some trouble with the mechanisms though in those. There's a lot of, just because it's simple to transform, there's still a lot of engineering in there, and sometimes something will get a little out of line, and you got to work it back into place. But
how long have you guys been? How long have you guys ran the site for?
Well, Matt started the site around 1997, 98.
Holy crap!
Wow.
It happened, he was in college and getting back into the hobby a little bit as the internet community was kind of coming online for Transformers G1, for that age range.
Yeah.
And so he started posting in his college newspaper asking to buy people's Transformers, and people came out in droves to get rid of them and make some money.
That's when I started buying them up. I used to love buying the ones especially that I had as a kid. And, to have them in the box still. And one I was so unhappy that I didn't have anymore was Jetfire, the original Jetfire. I used to take them apart as a kid and put them back together. And I couldn't with Jetfire. There's too many pieces. I threw them out. And I saw them on eBay back then for $1,000.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That's pretty over the top unless he was sealed in a mint box.
Wow, really? So, okay. So it's not.
It was just one dude hoping
guy
to
being a
fucking
douchebag.
grab at the moon, basically.
There's always those guys fishing for a few $100s for a common figure, and sometimes they catch somebody.
Well,
I've seen some of the combiners too still in the box go for about that, man.
Shit.
Go for
Yeah,
about
the
1,000.
combiner gift sets were particularly rare even back in the 80s. So
I
to
had-
find those in nice shape without the box all ripped to shreds is something special.
I had the Protectobots.
I had Devastator in the gift set, the whole box, all 6 pieces.
Oh, that was the only one with 6. The only combiner with 6 Transformers.
No, there was Piranacon and Monstructor, but nobody knows about those because they were later in the series after nobody cared.
Dude, I actually found a box of those in my attic a few months ago. The Pretenders, do you remember them? The Pretenders and the mini ones with the ships and all. And dude, I got a decent amount for them. Yes, Micromasters. I got a decent fucking about $300 for a box of those I found.
Right on. Yeah, that stuff is kind of when the community first got online, everybody was into the original characters, Optimus Prime, the Autobot cars, the Decepticon jets. And then in the early 2000s, Hasbro and Takara started reissuing those things.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the prices kind of tanked suddenly, and they've recovered since then. But now it's getting to the point where a lot of the adult collectors our age, they've gotten all the Autobot cars and Decepticon jets and all the Dinobots out of the way, and so now people are getting back into these more obscure characters like the Pretenders and the Micromasters. And
I
the
saw a
Headmasters.
Headmaster. Yeah, recently I got my son one for a birthday gift. It was one of the Headmasters. They were cool, man.
Jeez, I don't even know these guys.
Oh yeah, and then I was gonna say too, the Diaclones. What was that? When it was only Takara, when Hasbro wasn't involved. I bought I think a black Ironhide out of the box for like $35, and when the first movie came out with Shia LaBeouf, I sold that thing for like $400, man.
Wow.
Holy
That sounds about right.
shit.
Actually, Takara tried to sell the Diaclones in the United States by themselves without Hasbro.
Wow.
And the line was called Diacron with a K. And they had the black Ironhide. They released Sunstreaker in red. That's a fairly popular one. And there was a third one who it's escaping me at the moment. But there was just those 3 cars, and then a few other, like the Power Dashers and stuff.
Okay.
And the line totally flopped. It was only you could only get it in like specialty sci-fi toy and comic shops.
Yup.
And there was no story or anything. They didn't even have names. They were named like DK1,
Or
DK2, DK3.
Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
And so it was a disaster.
It was
And
only
then-
Japan and like Europe that they sold in.
Right. And with the actual Diaclone in Japan, there was at least a story that went along with it.
Yeah, with little guys, right? Wasn't that the Micromasters?
Right. No. Yeah. The drivers were supposed to be humans from like today, and there's an alien invasion about to happen. So they build all these transforming vehicles.
Wow.
So that when the aliens show up, they'll be ready.
I didn't even know that.
But the U.S. release, it didn't have any of that. It was just the toys in a plain silver and blue box, and nobody had any idea, what it was. And of course, it was expensive.
Oh,
I mean, these
yeah.
things weren't cheap back in the day.
I even as a kid, like, I remember my parents for a few years never bought me Transformers because they were kind of expensive. I always got the GoBots, the knockoff.
GoBots.
Those were the Kmart Transformers.
The Kmart Transformers.
How many times I'm a GoBots collector too, so
Wow. I actually have the enemy leader. He's the motorcycle, right?
yep, Psykill.
I still have him.
Was that ever a series, or was that just
Yes,
it was?
It was
Okay,
a
wow.
cartoon as well.
Actually, GoBots hit the United States a year before Transformers,
Yes,
Oh, wow.
and
That I knew.
they had a pretty big toy selection out by the time Transformers started.
They did.
But the problem is they had their cartoon was made by Hanna-Barbera, and so it was. I mean,
Cartoony.
it was like the Flintstones or the Jetsons, except with robots that nobody had heard of up to that point, so they didn't have that established history, and it was just kind of a flop. And the Transformers came out with the Sunbow cartoon, and everybody loved the characters, and so they were willing to pay that much more to get the toys.
What's
And
that
GoBots gave
yeah.
Transformers a run for their money until about 1986. There's a lot of things in Transformers that everybody looks at and says, oh yeah, I remember, like the rub signs where you rub the sticker and it lights up whether it's an Autobot or Decepticon.
Yeah, that's
That was
literally
done because of GoBots.
Oh,
That
wow.
was
I actually
they wanted
remember
to have a
those,
way of showing that
I-
your transforming robot is a
literally-
Transformers brand
Yeah,
robot.
I had a pre-rub Bumblebee mint on the card, and I sold that for a nice amount.
That's literally the only Transformer I have left. Is I have Dead End from Menasor
Oh.
with the rub-on, and that's the
Wow.
only one I have left.
I have a reissue Optimus, the 25th anniversary.
Wow.
That's all I have left. I
Yeah.
sold all the rest of my originals. I had a Diaclone, what was the Brontosaurus from the Dinobots?
Sludge.
Yes. I had him. I had Perceptor, I think a black Perceptor. I had,
That's correct. Yep.
and I had 3 versions of Megatron. I had the wooden one, the black one, and the regular Megatron. And they were all the Diaclones, but there was a wooden one, like with a wood
Was-
grain.
Yeah, wood grain handle and the black action, and that one didn't come with the scope that's Megatron's famous fusion cannon
Yup.
either.
Exactly. Only the Walther, the silver one, did come with
Right.
a
It was
scope.
originally sold as the Man from Uncle, the spy show.
Yes, Uncle.
It was branded as that,
The
and that's
Walther
why
Uncle.
it had the silencer and the scope, because
Yup.
it was associated with that spy show.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Do you collect any other toys or just Transformers?
I started collecting Transformers when I was 2 at the age of 1988, and never really stopped. And like when I was a kid, nothing else interested me. Like I had nothing
Yeah.
to do with G.I. Joe or Ninja Turtles or anything.
I was
Like if it
obsessed.
didn't transform, I wasn't interested.
I was in
But
all of that.
that said,
yeah.
I've kind of gotten into some other toy lines like GoBots. I'm very close to a complete collection of GoBots, which is way more difficult than you'd think.
I think I
Yeah.
heard something about their reissuing GoBots or something like
Really?
that.
Wow.
Did I heard? I thought I read something about
They're
them.
actually they're putting out in Japan. GoBots were sold as Machine Robo,
Yeah.
and they were way more popular in Japan than they were in the U.S. And so
Yeah.
Machine Robo went on a lot longer after GoBots was done. But they're doing new Machine Robo toys that are like kind of masterpiece versions of the old
That's
ones.
it. That's
Well, speaking of Japan, they had Transformers we didn't like. They had trains. There was a combiner that were trains. Correct,
Yep.
Ben?
It's
And-
called Raiden.
Raiden, yeah.
what?
It's the same size as Devastator.
6 trains.
wow.
I had one
There
of them.
were
I had
6
one of them.
trains. Yep.
Yeah,
And those guys are gorgeous. I love those guys.
they
but
were beautiful.
you're looking at 4 digits to get into a nice complete set of Raiden.
Screw
I
that.
had one in the box, sealed that I sold all my G1s when the first movie came out. I made a killing, dude.
That was the high point. And now actually they're bringing Diaclone back
Wow.
next year. They announced it this summer. They're doing like a masterpiece version of some of the Diaclone only characters.
Wow.
Really?
I had
have that-
an Italian jazz as well of a Diaclone, but it had these big rubber like stopper missiles. It was so
Yeah,
lame.
the Bopper missiles.
Yes.
That every country had different safety rules, and Japan had none. That's why the Japanese Megatron could actually shoot little plastic bullets.
Oh, it's amazing.
I heard the
That's
Soundwave was an actual working Walkman too.
No, Blaster, the
Oh.
Autobot, the red boombox,
Oh, that's
actually
right.
had a working AM radio in it
Wow.
in the
Blaster.
pre-Transformers.
Okay.
But where was I going with that? Oh, so Japan had no rules. You could shoot a missile that would put your eye out, and nobody would bat an eye about it.
Well, yeah, we could do. There was some toys like that here in the 80s. I remember having the pizza thrower for the Ninja Turtles, and that fired a rock hard disc like 30 feet away.
Yeah, my cousin
Well, here's
had
the
that.
thing. Here's the thing. The U.S. rules say it has to be a certain size in
Oh.
order to launch. So that those pizzas, I know what you're talking about. The pizzas are big enough that kids presumably wouldn't choke on them. But
Oh.
Transformers always had these little missiles that were,
Yeah.
maybe an inch and a half long and a quarter inch around. So nowadays, all the Transformer missiles are 3 inches long, which a lot of times is longer than the actual toy.
That's longer than Slim. Me too. I ain't gonna brag.
Well, it's better than if it was like the Italian ones with the big rubber end on it.
Dude, they were so stupid looking. It was like a big ball at the end of it. Like
Wow.
it was really dumb.
Wow.
And all the Italian ones had it.
Of course, the Italian ones all had the big ball in the end.
They gave you Mussolini, and they can't even give you a good Transformer. What is your favorite line, Ben, besides G1?
Oh, it kind of I get on kicks. Like I'll be stuck in a kick. Lately, I've been collecting the Japanese Transformers Prime Arms Micron line, and I enjoy those. You get like the main figure, and the Japanese ones still came with the sticker sheet, so you get to put the stickers on.
They were cool.
And they usually have some extra stickers if you want to customize it. And then they have, they call it a micron. It's like a little target master that comes with them. And you cut that thing off the sprue and put it together and then put the stickers on. So there's a little bit more like a model building aspect to those.
That's cool.
So that's
had,
been my most recent kick.
yeah, besides G1, my other big investment was Armada, and I sold those for a nice amount too, for the most part, like most of the collection.
Yeah, there's a few pieces from Armada that are hard to come by and valuable, but
Yeah.
the series as a whole, a lot of those are pretty common, like Hot Shot and Cyclonus and all those guys.
Yeah. I still never lost. I'm sorry, Mike.
I collect a lot of toys myself, but I just don't have the money to get back into the classic ones. I still have all my Ninja Turtles for the most part. I don't have any of my G.I. Joes or any of my Transformers. But I collect a lot of the newer toys. Like I buy a lot of like the Marvel Legends figures and stuff like that. And I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love collecting the Build-A-Figures and stuff like that. It's a little bit similar, but a different kind of line. I love collecting those kind of toys.
I know a lot of people who have been collecting the pop figures.
Yeah, I just still don't understand what the popularity
What are
is.
those?
They're like little chibi guys. I get like they got the
like
big
chibi?
heads
Oh,
and
yeah.
like our buddy Tom is obsessed with them.
I never
and-
liked that in anime, like the chibi style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually did Transformers. They did 4 of them for the most recent movie. But there's like more and more lines like that. There's another one called The Loyal Subjects, and it's like that, the little chibi style with the huge head.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of Transformers, and I think they're doing Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and
I've seen
and a
Star
whole bunch
Wars,
of lines.
I think. Star
Yeah.
Wars put them out like that, too.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Ben if you've seen the new, what are the cars? The Stunticons. Did you
Yeah.
see the reissue of those that just came out not too long ago?
The Combiner Wars, they're calling
Yes.
them?
Yes.
Yes. I've actually, Combiner Wars is a great series.
They look, it's a series.
Yes, they've done Menasor, they've done Defensor, the Protectobots.
Wow.
There's a Devastator gift set out. He's almost as tall as Fort Max. All assembled.
Wow.
They've done the aerial bots,
Yeah,
and there's a whole bunch more slated to come out yet. They're going to do a new Bruticus.
Yeah,
And
I saw that.
it's like the originals. You can have the small guys. You can have them as any arm or leg that you want,
I love that.
and so
the
you can swap them
interchangeability.
between the different combiners. And
How would you
it's
do
a good
that?
series.
How would you do that with Devastator, though? That seems a little...
You
'cause
could with
Devastator
Devastator,
doesn't
right?
work that way.
Yeah,
Devastator
I
is
didn't
only
think so.
Devastator.
Yeah, he's got
Six.
the backhoe across the top, and like his pieces are pretty specific. I mean, like
Yeah.
I guess you could fit his arms and legs wherever. Maybe I'm not 100% sure, but like at least parts of him have to be very specific.
Yeah.
Right. With the Devastator set, they're actually, each character is bigger than the regular or the rest of the combiners.
Oh, really?
It's the Combiner Wars, yeah. Each Devastator character is the size of a Voyager class. So like Motor
okay.
Master,
Wow.
Jeez. Yeah.
Hotspot, those guys are the center of the regular
Yeah.
combiners, and they're the same size as each Devastator member. So Devastator is too big to swap with the other ones, and he doesn't have, they all have like a standard plug that plugs into whatever limb you want.
Yeah.
Devastator doesn't use that at all. He's built totally different.
Yeah, he's like, fuck that, I'm devastated.
Exactly.
Oh, all right, Ben. I hate doing this, but we have to wrap this up, dude. We got other interviews starting in a few minutes, but tell everyone where they can find you again.
All right, you can hit us up for all your Transformers needs, whether you want to buy something or just read about the toys at www.transformerland.com.
Awesome, and you can sell you buy them too from people, right?
Yep, we buy collections, and then any era, any Transformers from 1984 till now, we buy and sell pretty much everything, and we have a huge toy wiki if you want to, try and learn about what you have or find out what parts you're missing. We have all that information.
Awesome, and thank you so much for talking to us.
All right, thank you.
That
Have a
was
good night.
awesome.
You
Thanks.
too.
Take care, Ben.
Good one.
Bye.
Bye. Jules said me and you were like kids.
Hell yeah,
We had
dude.
nerd boners.
I'm zoning out here because I don't know
I
much
know.
about Transformers,
I
man.
Yeah, I didn't. I
Like,
was
just
too young when it.
Get a Marvel guy on there and I'd be all
Aw.
in Transformers.
It's like you and
oh.
Mike are like kids.
We really were,
Yeah.
dude. I so wanted to buy the Combiner Wars stuff.
Oh
But,
my
like,
god, I
couldn't-
wanted the Lamborghini so bad because that was my favorite as a kid. That was my favorite of the Stunticons.
I remember seeing the commercial that had Starscream in it. Really wanting Starscream as a little kid. Never got him though.
I wanted to buy. I just wanted Motor Master, but I couldn't
I
find
know, I
him.
couldn't find him at all. I saw all the other ones. I found a Megatron that looks.
All right, guys, we're going on break. We'll be
tanks
back.
now. Oh, I didn't know we were still on.